Hi, my name is Esteban Herrera. In this video, we're going to build an iOS real-time feed app with Pusher to track a custom set of Twitter hashtags. Let me show you how the app will look like. In the backend, we'll have a Node.js process listening for tweets that contain one or more defined hashtags. When we find one, we'll publish an object with the tweet information to a Pusher channel. On the other hand, the iOS app will be listening for new tweets in that channel to add them to a feed. This way, you can see how after a tweet is printed in the console, it will show up in the app. To keep things simple, the app will only display some basic information for each tweet. Sounds good? Let's get started. First, we'll need a free Pusher account. You can sign up here at pusher.com/sign up. I already have an account, so I'm just going to log in here. Okay, in the dashboard, click on Create New App. Give it a name. Select the cluster where you'll host your app. Let's leave the US cluster. You can choose your frontend tech, like Android, Angular. I'm going to choose iOS here. For the backend, we can choose .NET, Python, Ruby. I'm going to choose Node.js. You can also invite collaborators to your app and enter a description. But let's just leave it at that and click Create My App. This will give you some sample code to get you started. But don't worry, this won't log you into a specific set of technologies. Also, you may want to copy your app ID, key, and secret. We'll need them later. Now, log into your Twitter account and go to apps.twitter.com/app/new to create a new application. Give your app a name, for example, iOS feed, a description, a sample app using Pusher, website, in other words, your application public homepage. We're not going to use it, so you can enter 127.0.0.1 for localhost. Agree to the developer agreement and click on Create your Twitter application. iOS feed is already taken. Okay, let's make it unique. iOS feed, Pusher 123. Now go to the section Keys and Access Token and create your access token by clicking on the Create My Access Token button. And save your consumer key, consumer secret, access token, and access token secret. We're going to need them too. Alright, for the backend, you can clone the project from GitHub and run npm install to set up the dependencies. I already have it here in Visual Studio Code. We can start by creating a config.js file from config.sample.js. Here you will have to enter your Twitter and Pusher credentials. You can also change the hashtags to track if you want. Now let me show you the main file, app.js. We'll get the tweets by using the Twitter streaming API with the help of the tweet library. So after creating the tweet and Pusher objects with the option from config.js, we're going to filter the tweets from the stream by the hashtags we're going to track. And when a new tweet matches our filter, we'll extract the properties that our iOS client will need to create an object and publish it to a Pusher channel as an event. And that's it for the backend. Now let's build the iOS app. Let's create a new Xcode project. Click Next. Give it a name. Select Swift as the language and Universal as devices. Click Next. Create. And close your project. We're going to install the project dependencies with CocoaPods. In a terminal window, go to the top level directory of your project, the one with the Xcode proc file, and execute pod init. This will create a text file named podfile with some defaults. Open it and add as dependencies Pusher Swift and Alamo Fire image. Let's save it and execute pod install. It has finished. Let's see. Great. From now on, make sure to open the generated Xcode workspace instead of the project file. For a simple app like this one, creating everything programmatically is easier. So open the file appdelegate.swift, and here in the application function, let's create manually the window object in which our app is going to live. Window equals UI window, frame UI screen dot main dot bonds to get all the available space. Window make key and visible to make it visible, and window.rootViewController equals UI navigation controller, and let's set as the root view controller of this controller the view controller Xcode created for us. Now open viewcontroller.swift and let's use a table view controller. This will give us for free a table view data source and a table view delegate. Let's run our app to see if everything is working. While it's starting, let me move the window and scale it a little bit. Great, our app is running. Now let's take a closer look at how the app is going to present a tweet. It has a profile image, the name of the user, the Twitter username, and the text of the tweet. So let's create a new Swift file, tweet.swift, to create a structure that will hold the tweet's information. Struct tweet, let name as a string, let username as a string, and let message as a string. We don't have to create a property to hold the profile image URL. We can get it from the username. Also, we're going to need a custom cell class for table view. Once again, create a new Swift file, this time with the name tweetCell. Import UIKit, class tweetCell, UI table view cell, override init, style, reuse identifier, super init with style and reuse identifier. Xcode is complaining. Okay, let's insert this. All right. Now let me show you the final app again. To simplify the layout, our cell is going to have an image view for the image profile and a UI text for the rest of the content, which will be formatted as an attributed string. So let's add a profile image as a UI image view. Let's initialize this image view in a block. Image view layer corner radius equals 5, so it can have rounded corners. Image view clips to bounds true, so the image fits within the bounds of the view. And image view translates auto-resizing mask into constraints equal false. We have to say this properly because we're going to use constraints to position our view. Execute this block. There's an error here. An equal sign is missing. Okay. Let message text UI text view. Let text view equals UI text view. Again, translates auto-resizing mask into constraints equal false. And let's disable user interaction to avoid showing up the keyboard if we click on the message. Okay, now let's add these views as subviews of the cell. And by using anchors, let's position the profile image. Top anchor equals to self top anchor, where self is referring to the cell, with a padding of 12 points. Is active equals true. And let me copy and paste and just change left anchor here and here. Then let's give it a width of 50. Copy paste for a height of 50 as well. For the message text, the top anchor equals the cell's top anchor, but with a padding of 4 points. For the left anchor, this view is going to be on the right of the image view. So let's say equals to profile image right anchor. And if we want this view to fill all the available space of the cell, we have to set the button anchor equals to the cell's button anchor and the right anchor equals to the cell's right anchor. Now let's add a property observer so when an object of type tweet is set on this cell, we can compose our attributed string and set the value of the profile image. Did set. Let's add a guard statement so this block can only be executed if an object of type tweet is set. And I'm going to paste the code to create the attributed string and the image. Import alamofire image, and let me explain it. First, create a mutable attributed string with the name of the user and with a bold font of size 16. Then append this string, space, add, and using a string interpolation, the username, and then a new line. As attributes, the size is going to be 14 and the color gray. Now there's a space between the name and username and the message of the tweet. So what this piece of code does is modify the line spacing of the name and username line to create this separation. Finally, we add the message with a font size of 14 and set this attributed text on the message text view. For the image, we can get it with the URL twitter/username/profile image. And we can use the AFSetImage extension method from alamofire to download it in an asynchronous way. Now, in the viewController class, let's create a cell identifier, cell ID, an array to hold our tweets, and the pusher object. Now, in the viewDidLoad method, let's give a title to our table view, like pusher feed, register our custom cell tweet cell with the reuse identifier cell ID, and create the pusher object with the key we got when we created the app in the pusher dashboard. There's an error here. Okay, the port is missing. Import pusher Swift. Great. Now let's subscribe to the channel hashtags and bind the event new tweet so when a new tweet comes in, the following callback is going to be executed. Let's convert data to a dictionary so we can extract the tweet information. Let message data message as string. Let name data name as string. Let's give some space. Let username data username as string. Create a tweet with this information. Insert it in the tweets array at the start index. Create an index packed row 0, section 0. So we can insert the new tweet as a new row at the beginning of the table view. And scroll to that position with a scroll to row at index path and with some animation. Seems like a brace is missing here. Okay. And pusher.connect. We also need to implement the method numbers of rows in section. Let's return the tweet count and the method cell for row add. The queue a cell with the identifier cell ID at the given index path, casting the cell to a tweet cell, so we can set the corresponding tweet from the arrays of tweets in the cell. Just at this point, the didSet block will set up the cell's views and return the cell. Alright, one last detail. The cells need to have a dynamic height to accommodate the text of the tweet. One easy way to achieve this is by estimating an average row height for the table view. Let's say 100. Setting the row height to UI table view automatic dimension and disable the scrolling on the cells UI text view with text view is scroll enabled equal false. And we're done. Let's test the app in the simulator. If you go to the debug console of your Pusher app, you'll see that many types of events are logged. For example, here we can see that our app has subscribed to the channel hashtags. And if we open the event creator, you'll see we can send a message to test our app. Channel, hashtags, event, new tweet. Name Pusher, message, hello, this is a sample tweet from the debug console. We'll also need a username. Let's say Pusher. Send event, and there you go. Of course, if we run our Node app, just let me go to the right directory, node app.js, the string of tweets will show up in the iOS app. Well, hopefully this video has shown you how to build a real-time iOS app with Pusher in an easy way. Take care, and thanks for watching.